My story is called Smoke, Smoke, Smoke That Cigarette. I always knew I would grow up to be famous. I even had my stage name picked out, Kitty Cardo. I could hear Ed Sullivan announcing my presence. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a really big shoe. Please put your hands together and welcome Miss Kitty Cardo. I would throw open the curtains and enter wearing my pink satin midnight enchanted Barbie gown, holding a slender Rothmans at the end of my opera-lake cigarette holder, a vision of perfection. Cigarettes. Sexy, flavorful, and outright cool. How did I know this? Television. That wonderful two-station black and white invention that every baby boomer became instantly addicted to. Ours arrived one magical day in 1966. Before that, my parents rented a TV for special occasions such as Apollo going into space, the Oscars, or when Mrs. Schweitzer competed in Reach for the Stars. Smoking was everywhere. The newscasters smoked as they read the news. The characters in TV shows smoked. Heck, even Fred Flintstone smoked. The desire to hold that sophisticated white roll between my fingers seduced me. It became too much to bear. With every pore of my prepubescent body, I longed to have the mysterious allure of smoke escape my ruby red lips. But how could I get my hands on a cigarette? I came up with a bold idea. I would roll my own. On a warm summer day, I smuggled binder paper and matches out of the house. I stuck behind our backyard fence to pull a handful of tall, dried grass out of the ground. An epic day lay ahead where I could at last begin my smoking career. Surveying the alley to make sure nobody stood looking, I crept into our garage with a fistful of fescue. Up in the rafters, my brother had hammered together a rough fort. I pushed the stepladder under a 2-foot by 2-foot opening and shimmied inside. The slant of the ceiling hung claustrophobically close to my head as I scooted to peer over the rough panel edges of a window. I felt my pants snag and rip on a metal clip attached to the floorboard. Rats, I muttered, wondering how to explain this to my mother. Satisfied that no one was about, I crept back and settled cross-legged, placing my cigarette kit in front of me. I used my elbow and my knee to pin the dry grass into place on the paper. Long and slightly cone-shaped, my creation was glorious to behold. Crisp paper wrapped around tall, sun-dried tobacco. Pursing my lips, I readied my movie star pose and lit a match. Poof! With one searing puff, the cigarette exploded into flames. Frantic hands quickly extinguished embers, dropping to the floor of the fort. Coughing and sputtering, eyelashes and eyebrows curled into yellow stubs. Tears flowed through my stinging eyes. Through acid smoke, I scraped through the opening of the fort and scrambled down the ladder. Gasping for air, I noticed the kid next door and her dog standing, looking me up and down. Judith Beth, you're just weird. My tongue stuck out as she flounced through her gate. Creeping into the house, I hoped to make it to the bathroom unseen, hidden by the clattering of my mother doing dishes. The floor creaked as I tiptoed behind her. What on earth? She whipped around, pinning me with her stare. Rolling her eyes, she took in the sight before me and shook her head. Judith Beth, what am I going to do? I don't know what. How did you rip your... Oh, just wash your face and get ready for dinner. Making a hasty slide down the hallway, I surveyed the damage in the bathroom mirror. Flushed cheeks, singed bangs, melted eyelashes and brows. The smell of burned hair clung to my nostrils. for a budding starlet, I thought. Next time I'll use onion paper and tape.